Shabbat Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to listen to a video that is a throwback from 2025, but it is still very good. So I hope you're all doing well on this Shabbat, and may the Most High bless each and every one of you. Okay, is that in here? Yes, it is. Hold on 1 second. Yes. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Welcome to another one of our Israelite Gathering Bible studies. My name is YAH, and again, I'm with Israelites Gathering. We're going to do the holy days today. Last week, we went over, the calendar a little bit, how to calculate, when the year starts, how many days in a year, and so forth and so on. So this class for Bible study, we're going to focus more on how do we actually calculate each month. We're going to actually go through it. If you haven't seen the previous class, then you definitely want to go back to the Shabbat class that just passed, so that we can get you up to speed on what we're doing here, because there's a specific pattern in the heavenly tablets that we have to follow, and we use that pattern for us to go ahead and calculate, when the year starts, when the month starts, and our holy days. So we're going to get into that today. A lot of stuff kind of going on in the world that we usually go over with current events, so forth and so on. But for time's sake, so that we can get through this class, we're going to skip that portion. If you haven't already, you can visit our website at israelitesgathering.com. Also, you can go to the Android App Store and the Apple App Store, and you can go ahead and download our application for your phone free as well and access all of this stuff. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get right into the class. Again, we're going to go over the calendar. We're going to actually look at a 2025 calendar. So we're going to actually pull this up and actually go through the months and count so that we can find out where we're at. And also mark the holy days, so we know what days we need to be off, what days we're going to be celebrating, so forth and so on. And we're going to start with the new year, which is going to be in March. So let's get right into it. Let me go ahead and share. And if anybody has any questions or comments, again, this is an open forum, so you can most definitely ask questions. All right. So again, we're not going to get too detailed on the why and all that. We're just going to get into the what. The why, we went into that on the Shabbat. So we're going to get into, now that we know the heavenly pattern in the tablets, the heavenly tablets in the sky, we understand that on the last day of the year, you're going to have equal day and equal night. That's going to happen around March 18th. March 18th, Tuesday, March 18th, that daytime portion is going to be about 12 hours, exactly 12 hours to match the previous night, which was 12 hours. So the day had to grow to match 12 hours. That's how you know that the day has to start in the night, because you can't have the night. You can't have in the spring the daytime getting smaller to catch up with the night. That just breaks the whole understanding of the calendar. We all know that the days are getting longer once spring comes. That's why we call it spring. So your calendar day can't start in the daytime or in the morning, because that's going to not allow you for your day to be exactly 12 hours and 12 hours day and 12 hours night. So once you get to that 12 hours day and 12 hours night, the preceding night that happens right after the 12 hours day, that is your new year. So that happens Tuesday, March 18th. If we go back and look at the Qumran calendar, the ancient calendars, we see, as well as we went over songs of Sabbath sacrifice, which also talked about the Sabbath being the fourth day of the first month. So that means the new year would have to start on a Tuesday, which is a fourth day, Tuesday night, and Wednesday during the daytime. So those are the things that we were able to prove. So with that being said, we'll get into it and look at how to calculate. So the first thing we want to do is we got to get our starting point. So again, New Year is going to always start, because of 364 being perfectly divisible into 52 weeks of 7 days. Your New Year is always going to start on the same day. So New Year always starts fourth day, so that it's going to be Tuesday, March 18th. We went and we looked at the sun times, when you had how much time was in the day and how much time was in the night, and we pinpointed March 18th. All right, and we also discussed why it can't be March 20th. It can't be on the equinox, because the equinox changes every year, and we know the New Year doesn't change every year. The New Year is the same every year. So let's get right into it. So we're going to start here, March 18th. And the heavenly pattern is 30 days to start the first month of the season, 30 days for the second month of the season, and then it takes 31 days to go into the third month of the season, which is the last month of the season, because there's an extra day there, because the sun takes an extra day to cross over into the other gates. So if you don't know what gates are, or the portals, again, you're going to have to go back. The best way to describe that is knowing the level of the sun in the sky. Certain times of the year, when in wintertime, the sun will be dead in your face. It's right there. And then other times it's way up. That's in the summertime. It's high. So it goes through gates. And the longer it takes to cross over from east to west is determining how long your day is. And that all depends on what gate or portal the sun is going through. So again, the last day of the year is March 18th. Daytime, the last daytime portion of the year. So Tuesday, March 18th at night is Rosh Hashanah, which means that is the head of the year. So what you want to do is you want to start there. That Tuesday night, remember all your days begin at night. So that Tuesday night would be day one. And we're going to count 30 days for the first month. And then the following day after 30 days is going to be the beginning of your second month. And it's important to know the beginning of your second month, because in the second month, you also have your second Passover, which happens on the between the 14th and the 15th of the second month, where those that were unclean and unable to take the first Passover for whatever reason, by way of a dead body or some kind of accident where you're bleeding or you cut, you're in surgery or whatever, and you can't take the Passover. YAH said this is so important that the following month on the same day, you'll take the Passover and do the same thing that you would have did in the first month. All right. So we're starting with March 18th. That's your new year. If you go ahead and look at that, that's equal day, equal night, which is the equal lux, equal day. Remember, equal day. The day has to grow equal to the night. That's why we use the equal lux, not the equinox, which is equal night. All right. And that's not even equal night. That is just the equator having a line across the earth. where the top of the earth under day and the bottom of the earth in shadow. So that's not what Enoch said. All right. And start on the 18th. So that will be day 1. And we're going to count 30 days. So get your calendars and go ahead and mark this down so that you can follow this. All right. So March 18th is Rosh Hashanah, head of the year, new year. That's day 1. So we're going to count 30 days. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So the last day of the year, of the month, of the first month, Abib, is going to be April 16th. So that means the following day, Thursday night of the 17th, that is going to be your new month, your second new month. So that is April 17th will be your next new month. And your new months are also going to always fall on the same consecutive pattern. You're going to start your new year with a Tuesday. The next month is going to be a Thursday. And the following month is going to be a Saturday. And it goes right back to that Tuesday again. So the beginning of every season is always going to start just like the year started. And when you look at the lunar pattern, it's going to be the same. The lunar phase that's starting your year is going to be the same lunar phase that's going to start every season. So YAH has multiple witnesses. So you want to mark your calendar, Thursday, April 17th at sundown, at nightfall. That is new month of the second month. So now let's go ahead to the third month. So you're going to start with April 17th because that's new month, right? So we're going to go 17 is 1 and you're going to have 30 days again. 17 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15th is May 1st. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So May 16th, that is the last day of the second month. So that means the following day, May 17th, which is a Saturday night, that is going to be the beginning of your third month. So being that it's the beginning of your third month, that means it's the last month of spring. So the ending of every season is going to have 31 days. That's the heavenly pattern that's written in the sky, in the heavenly tablets. So May 17th, you want to circle that. That is your Rosh Hashanah, new month, number 3, which is late spring. So we're going to start with that, and we're going to get all 31 days of the third month. So 17 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's the 5th. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and then you have 31. So June 16th is the last day of the third month of spring. So that means June 17th is going to be the beginning of your summer. And again, it's the beginning of a season. It falls on a 4th day again. It's following the same pattern. Remember, New Year's always starts on the 4th day. The 4th day will be Tuesday night. So Tuesday, June 17th is also going to start your summer. And if you look at the moon phase, that's going to be on March 18th. and you look at the moon phase that's going to be on June 17th, it's going to be almost identical. It's in the same phase, and it's just a little bit off, but it's in the same exact phase. So June 17th, Tuesday, June 17th, is going to be the beginning of your 4th month. All right, so you want to mark that on your calendar. So being that it is the beginning of the season, you're going to have 30 days again. So let's count 30 days out. So what we're doing now is we're marking all of our new months for the year so that we can calculate the holy days. All right, so June 17th, on the 30-day month, the first day of summer, will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, which is Sunday, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. The last day of the first month of summer is the 16th. That would mean Thursday, July 17th, is the beginning of your 5th month. All right. So the 5th month, you want to mark that down, July 17th. And we're going to count 30 days again because this is the 2nd month of summer. So 17th would be first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 would be the 5th. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So August 15th is the last day of the 5th month. So that means Saturday, remember, it's following that same pattern. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday night. Tuesday night, Thursday night, Saturday night. Saturday, August 16th is the beginning of your 6th month, which is the last month of summer. All right. So Thursday, August 16th, you want to circle that. That is your new month of the 6th month. So the 6th month is the ending of a season. So again, you're going to have 31 days. So always remember the pattern. 30, 30, then 31. So every season is going to start with 30 days, followed by another 30 days. And then the last month of the season is going to have 31 days. So that means this month here, the 6th month, is going to have 31 days. So we're going to count that out. So with new month being Saturday, August 16th, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Remember, it's going to go fall right back to a Tuesday. That's why trumpets, which is the beginning of the second half of the season, is Tuesday the 16th. So you can start at right there because that's the 7th month. First day of the 7th month is trumpets. That's a holy day. That's a Sabbathon. We're not permitted to work. But notice it's identical to the start of the first year. The start of the beginning of the year is Tuesday the 18th. And now you're having September 16th, a Tuesday, starting the second half of the year because it is a duplicate. Shana means to fold or duplicate. So that's why the year is an exact duplicate. And when we look at the holy days, we're going to see is a duplicate in that as well. So this is the beginning of your 7th month. That's important because we have a lot of holy days in this 7th month. So there's going to be 30 days in the 7th month because it's the beginning of a season. We're going to start from Tuesday the 16th. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Remember, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is the pattern. So that means Thursday, October 16th, that is the beginning of your 8th month. That's the 2nd month of fall. All right. So we're going to start there. We're going to count 31 days. 30 days. Sorry. We're going to count 30 days because it's the 2nd month. So October 16th, we're going to start there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So that's 30. So the next day, that is your beginning of the last day of fall. So Saturday, November the 15th, that is the last day of fall. That's the 8th month. All right. So we're going to count that 31 days, going into the 9th month. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. That means, again, the beginning of a season, the beginning of winter, Tuesday, December 16th. That's the beginning of the season, Tuesday, December 16th. So that is your beginning of your winter. Then you got another 3 months. You got December, January, and February. That's the next 3 months, with March being the beginning of the year. So you're going to circle that. Tuesday, December 16th. Remember, following the same pattern. Tuesday, Saturday, Thursday. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So if this is a Tuesday, then we know the next month is going to start on a Thursday. All right. And Shalom, Sis Sharita, good to see you. And we got a comment from Brother Dre Day, as always, dropping them scripts. Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Hallelujah. And that's so fitting, because you have to have patience with this calendar. You're not just going to get it the first year or the second year, the third. It's going to take time. And we take it for granted that we're going to have the internet, that we're going to have Israelite gathering there. We're going to have Savior Word of YAH. We're going to be able to just, when is the holy day? We're going to be able to ask. We're going to get on Facebook. Well, what happens when we're in the wilderness? What happens if we're in the wilderness journey? How are you going to calculate the holy days then? How are you going to be able to look at the sky and the stars and be able to do that? Or even if you have somebody that can read the sky, how are you going to be able to take that and translate that into the holy days? You got to get back in here and you got to practice, because we're not going to take it for granted that we're going to always have somebody to do that. So the beginning of the winter is December 16th. All right. Beginning of the 10th month. So let's start there. 16th is going to be 30 days. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Then we got to go over to the 2026 calendar and complete that. But I'm not going to go that far. I just wanted to go ahead and get it through the year. You're going to follow that same consistent pattern. December the 16th, you're going to have 30 days. And then In January, you're going to have another 30 days. Then February, you're going to have 31 days, which brings you into March of next year to bring in your holy days. So that's what I wanted to do right there, just for us to be able to get our holy days down. So with that being said, once we have that and we have those dates, if you mark those dates, we can now start to calculate the holy days. So let's get into the scripts. And I could tell you these things, but we're going to read it so that we can do this on our own. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the scripts. Let me do a new share. All right, and we went over several weeks in a row that in Genesis, it shows that the sun, moon, and stars were created for our days and months and years and our feasts. So based upon the positioning, that's how we calculate. All right, so we're going to open up in Leviticus, YAH, chapter 23. YAH, chapter 23. And we're going to start this at verse 1. And I'm going to leave the concordance up because we're going to do a lot of definitions here. So Leviticus, YAH, chapter 23, and we're going to start this at verse 1. And Leviticus 23 is going to outline all of YAH's set apart days. Now, we have some other days that we also celebrate, but those weren't commanded by YAH. That was commanded by man for cultural reasons. But at least it's our culture. Like Purim, that's our culture. Hanukkah, that's our culture. These things were taken from us, but they're not YAH's appointed days. So you can't rebuke somebody for not keeping it, and you can't rebuke somebody for keeping it because they're not YAH's holy days, but it's our culture at least. So Leviticus, YAH, chapter 23 and verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharal, and say unto them concerning the feasts. Now, the first thing I want to do is look at that word. There's a different word for feast. The word for feast is Hagag or Hag. The word here is Moad. Moad is H4150, which is properly an appointment. That is a fixed time or season. So they use Moed. It's called a Moedim for YAH set apart days, are just appointed days that YAH appointed. And feast days are appointed days that we are supposed to feast. So they use that interchangeably sometimes, but they made a mistake here and say unto them, these are the appointed times of Yahweh. How you know it's appointed time? Because it's going to talk about the Shabbat. And the Shabbat is a feast day, but that's an appointed time. All right. So these are the concerning the moads or the appointed times of Yahweh, which you shall proclaim. All right. So look at that word, proclaim, quara. And that's through the idea of accosting a person met, to call out to, properly to address by name. So again, we are supposed to proclaim this. We're supposed to set this. We're supposed to let everybody know. That's why our holy day calendar is available for everybody. We're going to upload it on the website so everybody can get it because we're proclaiming this. This is what Israel is supposed to do. That they're proclaiming their new year and they got all their pagan festivities. Well, we supposed to proclaim Yah's new year, and all Yah's people are supposed to follow it. And we're proclaiming them to be holy, set apart. Kodesh means set apart, sacred. Convocations. What's a convocation? A mikra. H4744. That is something called out. A public meeting. We're supposed to gather. And what do we do at this public meeting? It's a rehearsal. We're supposed to rehearse coming together when Yah says come together. Rehearse following Yah's instructions. It's an assembly. We're supposed to assemble ourselves. It's a calling, again, calling out, a convocation, and reading. We're supposed to read. And what are we supposed to read? Well, what did Mashiach read when he came up there? He read the scripts. So these are holy convocations, and these are again, moads. When we get to actual feast, it's going to use a different word, Hagag or Hag. So let's look at the first feast day. The first feast day. The first feast day is built into the first week of the year. The Sabbath. Verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is a Shabbat of rest. All right. So you have Sabbath, Shabbat. That literally means the seventh day, right? The day of rest. And then you have another word here, Shabbaton. That's a Sabbatism or special holiday. So that's letting you know the Sabbath is a rest day and a holiday. Holiday is a word that they've hijacked and use it for pagan holidays, but that comes from us. We keep holy days. So the Sabbath is a holy day. That is the first one that you keep. And it is a day of rest. That's why it says the Sabbath of rest. And it's a holy convocation, which means it's set apart. And we're supposed to gather, a mikra, meet, and rehearse and read. That's why every Shabbat we're reading, we're coming together, we're rehearsing, and we're keeping ourselves kodesh, clean, holy, set apart. It says, you shall do no work therein. It is the Shabbat of Yahweh in all your dwellings. So that means wherever you live, wherever you dwell, you're supposed to keep that Sabbath day. I don't care whether you in captivity, whether you in the Holy Land. Now, there's only certain things we can do in the Holy Land, which is to, keep the Sabbath feast in the temple and to do sacrifices and all that. We can't do that here because we're not in the Holy Land and we don't have the proper people to do it, the Levites. But in all your dwellings, you're supposed to rest. Remember, rest, Sabbathon is a special holiday, and keep it holy. That's why it says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. He didn't say, remember the Sabbath day to do your animal sacrifices. We can only do that in the land. Furthermore, Mashiach was the perfect sacrifice. So that is put aside for a time. That's called grace. But when the grace is up, the bill is due. Don't forget that. Verse 4. These are the feasts, again, that's Moade. These are the appointed times or fixed times of Yahweh. Holy convocations, which you shall proclaim in their seasons. All right. So again, they're using seasons and feasts. Same Hebrew word. Verse 5. In the 14th day of the 4th month, and this is an important word that we have to look at, they use the word at. That makes it sound like it's at on the 14th day, starting the 14th day. No, that's not what it is. This at is telling you when in the 14th day. It says even, right? So you're thinking even, right? Well, it's Bane, H996. We went over that last week. That is between. And when you get in Jubilees, it's not going to play no games. It's going to let you know the 14th day between evenings is Yahweh's Passover or the preparation day. This is the day that you were preparing the Passover. So in the 14th month at even is Yahweh's Passover. So again, we went in Jubilees chapter 49. It broke it down that you cannot kill that Passover until the going down of the sun. Once the sun is down before the 15th, you kill that Passover. But you can't eat that Passover to the 15th. That's why you have the next one. On the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto Yahweh. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. So that's the Passover feast that we're going to go over. So let's go back to the calendar. Remember, the 14th day Passover. The 15th day is the Passover feast, when you actually having the feast day. All right. So let's find the 14th first. We're going to go back to that calendar. Let me go do that share again. Let's go back to the 2025 calendar. Here it is. So you have March 18th. That is your new year. So that's day one. We want to go to the 14th day. So that's 18th is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So Monday the 31st at night, Monday night, will start your 14th day. So you're not killing the Passover that Monday night, because it's between evenings. It's between the 14th and the 15th. The 15th would be Tuesday, April 1st. So that means before it gets dark, right here, getting ready to start your Tuesday, which is still a Monday night. That's when you're going to get ready to kill, Tuesday, right before it gets night. That's when you're going to kill that Passover lamb. So it'd be Tuesday the 1st. That's when that lamb would have been killed. He died about the 9th hour. So around the same time, 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, when they were killing the Passover lamb, Mashiach was being killed to be a sign unto all of Israel. So Tuesday night, when it becomes night, that becomes your 15th day. That is the beginning of your Sabbathon, which is unleavened bread day 1. So you want to mark Tuesday, April 1st at night. That is your Sabbathon. That means if you work Wednesday during the day, you have to take that day off, because that is a Sabbathon. We are not permitted to work. So starting Tuesday night, we're not permitted to work. That's why you can't do the animal sacrifice after that. It's already done. You're celebrating, you're eating. So Tuesday, April 1st at night, that is your Passover. So that's day 1. Now let's go back to Leviticus and see what the rest of that holy day. All right, it says back to verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread, matzah, unto Yahweh. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. So it's a 7-day feast. And starting that Tuesday night first, you have to eat unleavened bread. And furthermore, all the leaven is supposed to be out your house. So on Monday, that's your last day to get the leaven out of your house. By Tuesday, during the daytime, that is the last day. Then Tuesday night, that begins your matzah. So you have 7 days starting that Tuesday night. And it says, in the first day, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein. That lets you know that that is a Sabbathon, a holy day or a holiday, for lack of a better word. But you shall offer an offer made by fire unto Yahweh 7 days. And then here it is. In the 7th day is a holy convocation. You shall do no work, no servile work. So the first day of unleavened bread and the 7th day is a holy day. You cannot work. So that means that 7th day, that Monday night would start the 7th day. That means you'll be off on that Tuesday. All right, so let's go back to the calendar again. And again, if we're going kind of fast, this is why we're recording it, so you can play this over and you can practice it till it makes sense to you. And you can read in your Bible, have your calendar, and count in front of you. All right, so Tuesday, April 1st at night, which will be Wednesday during the daytime. Tuesday at night, that is when your feast starts for the 15th day. So you have 7 days. So Tuesday night, begins your Sabbath on. You'd be off on that Wednesday during the day. So Tuesday night is day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It works out perfectly. The month starts right. That feast day starts on the 1st of April and it ends on the 7th. So Monday, the 7th at night will begin the 7th day of unleavened bread and the last day for you to eat unleavened bread. And you can't have nothing in your house with leaven until after the next night. So Monday the 7th, you'll be off on Tuesday the 8th. That is your 7th day of unleavened bread. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to the scripts. And now we're talking about first fruits. Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, speak unto the children of Yasharal, and say unto them, when you be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. And you shall wave the sheaf before Yahweh to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Sabbath. The priest shall wave it. So this is talking about the regular Sabbath day, the Sabbath, 876:76, the regular Sabbath day that happens after your week of unleavened bread. The day after that would be a first day, a Sunday. So let's go back. Now we're going to go back to the calendar. Here you have it. So remember, you have April 1st. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you're going to go to the Sabbath after unleavened bread. The morrow after that will be Sunday. So when does Sunday start? Sunday starts Saturday night. Oh, this calendar is jacked up. I just noticed it. Ooh, you see how they start the week on Monday? Oh man, they messed that calendar up. Now, when you count the days, it's still the same, but that is off. So let me go ahead and find another 2025 calendar, because that's not the first day of the week. They slid that in. Let's find another one. Wow. I can't believe they slid that in there like that. I apologize for that. That should not have been there like that. Let me get a big one. We can see big. So the principle is still the same. It's just they start in the week wrong. Sunday should be the first day of the week. All right, let me go ahead and share that. All right, so again, we're back here at April 1st. April 1st, you're going to count that again. 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're looking for the Shabbat, the morrow after. And again, Saturday night begins your Sunday. This is where you have your feast of first fruits. Now, the Jewish people, they kept it on the day after the first day of unleavened bread. So they keep it that Wednesday, that second day of unleavened bread. And when you look at Flavius Josephus and all that, that's what they were doing at the time when Herod was around. But when you go to the Dead Sea Scrolls and you look at what the people that were trying to keep the Sabbath and trying to keep the holy days, they didn't keep it there. They kept it that morrow after the Sabbath day, not the Sabbathon, the Sabbath day. So again, that will be April the 12th. April the 12th at sundown is your Feast of First Fruits. Now, Feast of First Fruits is a feast day, but it's not a Sabbathon where you have to take the day off. So you can feast and you can do what you need to do. You just don't, that's day you just not, you don't have to take that day off. All right, so we're going to go back. But there's a few things associated with it. And you shall offer that day when you, let's read back from 11. And he shall wave the sheaf before Yahweh to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Shabbat. The priest shall wave it. So the day after the Sabbath. And you shall offer that day when you wave the sheaf a he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto Yahweh. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto Yahweh for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the fourth part of a hin. And you shall eat, and now here's the key point. And you shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears until the selfsame day that you have brought an offering unto your Elohim. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. So another key point to prove that it has to be outside of unleavened bread is because during the week of unleavened bread, you can't eat any bread or have any leaven in anywhere. But when you look at this word, it's lahaim, which is literally bread. And this bread is bread that has leaven, because unleavened bread is a whole different word. Let's go back up to that word. When you go up to unleavened bread, the Feast of Unleavened, matzah. Matzah, that's a whole different word. Greedily devouring for sweetness, because it's sweet when you, and unfermented, because it's not soured or bittered with yeast. When you add yeast, it bitters, it makes it bitter. That's why sin represents leaven. When we're getting rid of the leaven from our house, you're supposed to get rid of the sin in you. And the physical practice is just getting rid of the leaven in your house, the spring cleaning. But it's symbolic of the leaven in you, because leaven causes you to puff up. Sin causes you to puff up. When you're in sin, you act that way, puffed up. All right, so you have your first fruits. So again, here's the key. And you shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears. And when you want to look at parched corn, roasted ears of grain, and then green ears, that is produce. So no corn or no produce or no bread until the selfsame day that you have brought an offering unto your Elohim. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. So that's a holy day they leave out a lot of the times, first fruits. But we got to understand this was the holy day that was fulfilled by Mashiach going before the Father, because he didn't immediately go to the Father after he died. That's why he said, don't touch me. I haven't been to my Father. Then later, and we go look at it, it was days later, about 8 days later. Now he's saying, look, touch me. Do spirits have bone and flesh? He's doing that because he's gone before the Father. You can touch me now. I've been before the Father, because he represents the rising and going unto the Father, the first fruits of them that slept. Remember, Mashiach is first fruits of them that slept. So when they talking about resurrection and all this stuff, there's something for that with him going before the Father. That's called first fruits, not Easter or Astaroth and all that paganry. All right, so you need to be able to calculate your first fruits properly, because this affects the next holy day, which is actually a Sabbathon, which means you have to take that day off. And it's an offering. The Feast of Weeks. All right. And you shall count unto you from the day after the Shabbat, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the wave offering. So from the Sabbath, the day after the Sabbath that you brought the wave offering of the sheaf, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. So from the time that you did your first fruits, you should have 7 Sabbaths. That's 49 days. And then the next verse, 16, even until the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall you number 50 days. And that's why it's called Pentecost. Because Penta means 50 days. So 50 days from your first fruits, that's when you have your Pentecost. 7 Sabbaths will be complete. And you shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahweh. You shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave loaves of 2 tenths deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baking with leaven. They are the first fruits unto Yahweh. You shall offer with the bread 7 lambs. And when you start seeing these 7 lambs and all that stuff being offered, that lets you know it's a Sabbathon. Sabbath. That's the type of offerings that are done on the Sabbath. And surprisingly enough, it's the same type of offering that's being made on your new months. That's why a lot of people treat new month as a holy day. We're already supposed to gather. We know that. But that's why it also said we may not buy or sell corn on that day, because it was treated like a holy day, because we were in the temple making offerings. We couldn't be working if we in the temple offering stuff. Verse 18. And you shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto Yahweh, and the meat offering and the drink offerings, even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto Yahweh. Then you shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offering. And the priest shall wave it with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before Yahweh with the 2 lambs. They shall be holy unto Yahweh for the priest. Now it's being called a first fruits offering. You have the holy day of first fruits, and then you have 3 first fruits offerings. The first fruit offering, that was matzah. That's in your Pentecost. That's the first one. All males appear. We're going to go over that next. Then you have the second one, which is in the summertime. Pentecost or Shabbat. That's your second one. Then the third one is going to be in your tabernacles. All right. So, and you shall proclaim on the self same day that it be a holy convocation unto you. You shall do no servile work, no work that you get paid for. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. All right, so let's go back to the calendar. All right, so you had your first fruits happening on April 12th, which is Saturday night, which is Sunday, the first day of the week, right? The 12th. Then 7 Sabbaths are supposed to be complete. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Sabbaths should be complete. That's going to give you your Pentecost. So you're going to have Saturday night, May 31st, because the morrow after the Sabbath is the first day of the week, Sunday, which would be June 1st. But again, our days start at night. So it would be Saturday, May 31st. That's another Sabbathon. You got to mark that on your calendar. If you work on a Sunday, if you work Sundays for whatever reason during the daytime, because I work Sunday during the daytime, I would have to take that day off because it is a Sabbathon. That means starting Saturday night, we having a double Shabbat because you have the Sabbath day on the 31st, and then that nightfall, you going immediately into Pentecost. So you have to prepare. That means on that Friday, you got to prepare for 2 days straight that you can't work or buy. So that would sneak up on us the first couple years that we did it. But now we've been doing it for years. We're prepared. We know we're going to have a double Shabbat. And Shalom, brother Yafi. Good to see you, family. So 7 Sabbaths complete. So May 31st, Saturday night, May 31st, will begin your Shavuot, which is also a first fruits, Pentecost. All right, so let's go back to the scripts.
Okay. Now I don't know what happened because it was sound and then it wasn't. All right. So let me connect to it again. Let me see. Do I have it here? All right. Hold on 1 second. All right. Hold on 1 second. All right. Um, what is going on? All right. Can everybody see my screen? Give me a one if you can see my screen. It's something weird going on because y'all just all disappeared from the chat and then you just reappeared. So thank you. Thank you.
Be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever soul it be that does any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. So that's pretty important that we don't work on that day and reconcile our sins. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest. There go that Sabbathon again. Here goes Sabbath. It's a Sabbath of rest. You're resting that day. You have to take that day off. And you shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even. From even unto even shall you celebrate your Sabbath. So it's letting you know right before the sun goes down on the 9th day, turning over to the 10th. It's a full cycle from the night of the 10th to the daytime of the 10th. You celebrate your Shabbat. So let's go back to the calendar. There you have it. Remember, Tuesday, September 16th, that is going to be your trumpets, which is the first day of the 7th month. The 10th day is atonement. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means Thursday, the 25th. Mark that. Thursday night on the 25th. That is the holiest day of the year. That is Yom Kippur. That is the Day of Atonement. And why is that the holiest day of the year? That's the holiest day of the year because if Israel is doing what they're supposed to do and we are reconciling our sins, YAH is wiping away our sin debt for the rest of the year in one day. So that one day we are fasting, we are resting, we are just apologizing to one another, trying to give forgiveness for our sins, trying to get forgiveness from our brothers and sisters. That is the one day where we're clear, we're clean. No other day will you be that clean because eventually you're going to sin again and y'all not going to just wipe it away. He's saying on that day, look, if it just consider that like a credit report. On that day, he's giving you credit amnesty. Bring your credit report. Run all your credit reports. Bring them all to me. Just show me everything that you owe that's on your credit report. I'm going to wipe it clean. All you got to do is pray and not eat and not work. and just bring it to me. Acknowledge it to me. That's what the Father's asking and doing. He's saying, I'm going to wipe it clean. But if it was actually our credit, we would all keep this day. But because it ain't got nothing to do with our credit cards and our money and our ability to get money, many of us don't care. But that's the holiest day of the year. And that's why it is completely incorrect to have your new year on trumpets, which is the beginning of the 7th month. Not the beginning of the year, the beginning of the second half of the year. All right, so mark your calendars. You will be off that Friday. That Friday, if you work during the daytime, you will be off. If you work nights, Thursday night, the 25th, you will be off. Let's go back to the scripts. Let's pick up. This is the last set of holy days of the year. Feast of Booths, Sukkah, Feast of Tabernacles, verse 33. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharal, saying, The 15th day of the 7th month shall be a Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto Yahweh. Ain't that the same? The 15th day of the 7th month? The 7th month is the first month of the second half of the year. And on the 15th day, you're having a 7-day feast. Remember, on the first month, Abib, on the 15th day of Abib, you're having another 7-day feast. It's a mirror image. It's a duplicate. But the difference is in the second half of the year to cap the holy days, he has an 8th day that we're going to get to, that he said you're going to celebrate again on that day. So let's start with these first ones. On the first day, you shall have a holy convocation. Or let me go back. Speak unto the children of Yasharal, saying, On the 15th day of this month, of the 7th month, shall be a feast of tabernacles, Sukkah, which is a hut or lair, a booth, because we dwelt in booths in the wilderness before we were able to enter into the land. For 7 days unto Yahweh. On the first day shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein, just like in the first half of the year. On the first day of matzah or of unleavened bread, you have holy convocation. You can't do no work. 7 days you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. And on the 8th day shall be a holy convocation unto you. And you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. It is a solemn assembly. And you shall do no servile work therein. So this is something different. This is the 8th day of the 7th day feast. It's something new, like the 8th day man. It's a new creation, something completely different. So the first day and the 8th day are Sabbathons. You cannot work. So let's go mark that on our calendars. Let's go back to the calendar. So we'll start again on September the 16th, because that's the first day of the 7th month. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the 25th. That's your atonement. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, October 1st. October 1st or September 30th. Let's count that again. Let me do that over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm sorry. September 16th. We count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Tuesday, September the 30th. That is your 15th day of the 7th month. That's the first day of Booths. That is a holy convocation. So that means you'll be taking Tuesday night off if you work nights, or Wednesday, October 1st, if you work daytimes. All right, so that is the first day. Let's count 8 days because it's an 8-day feast. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Tuesday, October 7th. That is the 8th day. That's the last day of Tabernacles. And that last day of Tabernacles is also a Sabbathon. You're not permitted to work. That means if you work Tuesday night, you're off Tuesday night. Or if you work Wednesday during the day, you take Wednesday off. That is the last day of Boost. Now we're going to see what we're going to do on those days. Let's go back to the scripts. Remember, no servile work on that 8th day is a solemn assembly. So we mark those days down. Tuesday, September 30th. That's the first day of Tabernacles. Tuesday, October 7th. That's the 8th day. All right. Verse 37. These are the feasts of Yahweh, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh, a burnt offering and a meat offering and a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon this day. Beside the Shabbats of Yahweh, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your free will offering, which you gave unto Yahweh. Also on the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruit of the land, you shall keep a feast unto Yahweh 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbathon, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbathon. See, notice they're using Sabbathon, holidays, rest days. It will never, none of these holy days will ever fall on a Sabbath. The Sabbath is completely separate. This is by YAH's design. That is the first example of how to keep ourselves holy. Then any other day that is treated like a Sabbath, because it's a holy day that we're not permitted to work and have to rest, is called a Sabbathon or a holiday. The holidays and the pagan days can fall on any day. They don't have to fall on a Saturday. Matter of fact, they never fall on Saturdays or Sundays. They always fall during the week. That's why it's called a holiday. You're off that day. And this is what you do during Boost. And you shall take on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches and palm trees of the boughs of thick trees and willows of the brook. And you shall rejoice before Yahweh, your Elohim, 7 days. And you shall keep it look here, feast. The word for feast is Hag or Hagag. Feast is Hag or Hagag. But guess what? When they use feast earlier in the chapter, they use Moedim. That's appointed time, different words. Unto Yahweh, 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Let's look at that word. Year again, Shana. A year as a revolution of time. And if you look at the root word Shana, it's to fold. That is duplicate. So again, the year is a duplicate, a biannual duplicate. Half of the year one way, second half of the year duplicate. And you shall keep it a feast unto Yahweh 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Verse 42. You shall dwell in booths. Sukkah, that's tabernacles. 7 days, all that are Israelite born. So all the Israelites shall dwell in booths. Why? That your generations may know that I made the children of Yasharal to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Mizraim. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. So during booths, we dwell in the tents for 7 days. It says 7 days you're going to dwell in those booths, right? But, most of us dwell 8 days for the 8 days of tabernacles. There you have it. This is how you will calculate your holy day calendar. And let me pull it up for you, let you see what it looked like again. '25 holy days. Do a new share. If you were keeping up with the calendar, as we wrote down, this is what your calendar would look like. Again, we're going to repeat it. March 18th, Tuesday. March 18th, that is Rosh Hashanah, head of the year, Hebrew New Year's. Notice it starts on a Tuesday. Every season is 3 months. So that's month 1, month 2, month 3. This is your spring right there. And it follows a pattern. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Then the next season, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Then the next season, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then so forth and so on. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday again. It follows a heavenly pattern. So your March 18th is going to be your first month. Tuesday, March 18th, April 17th, Thursday. Second month will be 30 days. Then again, the end of the season, end of spring, starts May 17th, and there's 31 days in that month. This does not coincide perfectly with a Gregorian calendar, because a Gregorian calendar is not using the heavenly tablets. It's using pagan holidays like Janus and Augustus Caesar and Julius Caesar and all that stuff, making months based on vanity, how they want to do it. This is based on the heavenly tablets. So therefore, here are your new months. You're going to look for the first month, March 18th, 14 days. From March 18th, you're going to have Monday, March 31st. That's going to be your preparation day for Passover. That's not a Sabbathon. That's the last day to get rid of all the leaven in your house. Right? And then on Tuesday, during the daytime before the sun goes down, that's when they would have killed the Passover. Tuesday night, that begins your Sabbathon of your Passover feast, unleavened bread day 1. That is the beginning of your 7 days. 7 days later is going to bring you to a Monday, because, Tuesday to Monday is 7 days. Tuesday to Tuesday will be 8 days, just like here. This is an 8-day feast. That's why it's Tuesday to Tuesday. Tuesday to Monday, April 7th. That's your 7th day of unleavened bread. All these days from April 1st to April 7th are unleavened bread days. So starting Tuesday night, April 1st, to Monday night, April 7th, all the way to Tuesday. Tuesday to Tuesday, you cannot eat anything with leaven and can't have leaven in your house. Again, Sabbathon, it's a holy day. When you see Sabbathon, that means like holiday. You're supposed to be off. Saturday, April 12th, which is the morrow after the Sabbath, because Sabbath starts Saturday night. After the week of April 7th, that weekly Sabbath is April 12th. The morrow after that is Saturday night. That is your Feast of First Fruits. And then you have your Feast of Pentecost, Saturday, May 31st, which is 7 Sabbaths after you do this offering on the 12th. That brings you to Saturday night, May 31st, which is basically a Sunday. Brings you to the 7th month, September 16th, that Tuesday. That's another Sabbathon. That's trumpets. You got to be off that Wednesday if you work during the day, off that Tuesday night if you work at night. 10 days later, you have Thursday, September 25th. That's your atonement. That's the holiest day of the year. You can't work. You don't eat. You don't drink. You don't do anything other than pray and ask for forgiveness and rest. Then on the 15th of that 7th month is Tuesday, September the 30th. You got 8-day feast all the way to October 7th. 8-day feast. So there's your holy day calendar. I'm going to go ahead and check it, a couple more times, make sure there's no mistakes. And then we'll go into that. And then, if you're going to keep Hanukkah, that will be Tuesday, December the 9th at nightfall, and Purim, Friday, February 28th, and Saturday, March 1st. Why is it 2 days? Because anytime you see Im, that means it's plural. The days of lots. Pure means lots. So days of lots. So those 2 days that they did it. All right. So one last thing I want to share with you about the 3 appearances that all males appear. That's very important when it comes to the holy days. So let's go back to the scripts. And if anybody has any questions, you can definitely reach out to us info@israelitesgathering.com, or you can hit us on the app, direct messages. I'm YAH. You can direct message me on the app, or you can send it to, some of the other people that have been doing it for a while. They might be able to help you. But we're going to go to Deuteronomy 16:16, and we're going to look at these 3 appearances that all males have to appear. All right. Here it is, Deuteronomy 16:16. 3 times in a year shall all your males appear before Yahweh, your Elohim, in the place which he shall choose. All right, so appear, ra'ah, literally, figuratively, direct, implied, and advise, self, appear. This is literally appear. All right, before Yahweh. So we have to come before Yahweh in the place which he chooses. In the Feast of Unleavened Bread, so there it is on that Sabbathon of unleavened bread, we all males appear to start the feast day. All the males are making an offering unto Yahweh. It's a free will offering. That means you offer what you're able to. And we're going to read that in verse 17. The Feast of Weeks, which is Pentecost. Before we start the Feast of Pentecost, you're going to make that offering. And in the Feast of Tabernacles, you're going to make that offering again before you feast. And they shall not appear before Yahweh empty. You have to have something to offer. Every man shall give as he is able. So that means you're giving based upon how Yah has blessed you during that season. The previous season, he blessed you. Guess what? This new season comes and we're making this offering. There it is. Boom. We offering a lot. If we had a rough season, we can't offer as much. Because a lot of our stuff would have been given out to the poor. Would have been given out. We didn't have much to offer. And it says, every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of Yahweh, your Elohim, which he has given you. So that is a free will offering. That's based upon what he's blessed you. That is completely different than the offering in Feast of First Fruits. Do not confuse Feast of First Fruits with the Feast of Weeks. Feast of Weeks is a first fruit offering, but that's not the same as first fruits. So again, he's telling you specifically, you offer according to what Yah has given you. I'm going to show you that that's different than what we're doing on first fruits, just by the Hebrew. Leviticus 23, let's go back to first fruits. Right here. It says, speak unto the children of Yasharal and say unto them, when you come into the land which I shall give unto you, shall reap the harvest thereof, then you shall bring a sheaf. A sheaf is an omer. So this is a specific amount. This is a dry weight that we have to use. An omer. That is a sheaf. So that's not what he gave, as much. What if he gave us more than that? Then we offer more than a sheaf. But on first fruits, he's asking only for a sheaf of your first fruits, of your harvest unto the priests. And if you don't know what a sheaf is, we can go look that up. A sheaf is an omer. It's like an omer is, let me look that up. An omer is a certain amount. There you go. Exodus 16:36. An omer is the 10th part of an ephah. So an ephah would be 10 omers. So this is a specific amount of grain that they used, that they had to weigh out. So that is a weighted amount. That is a specific amount that we are using. That's how you know the first fruits offering for first fruits is not the same as the offering that you make 3 times a year where all males appear. That's a different offering because that offering is according to what Yah has given you. All right. And then actually, there's one more thing I want to show you. Exodus chapter 19 of how you're supposed to appear before Yahweh. All right. So this is talking about when Yahweh said that he's going to come down. Start at verse 9. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Lo, I come unto you a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with you and believe you forever. And Moshe told the words of the people unto Yahweh. So Yahweh is saying, I need y'all to come appear before me. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Go unto the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the third day. For the third day Yahweh will come down in the sight of all the people of Mount Sinai. So this is the process for appearing before Yah. You have to cleanse yourself and keep yourself clean going into the third day. So let's go back to that calendar again. You're appearing before Yah, representing your family. How do you present yourself? All right, so let's pull up the Holy Day calendar. All right, so you have your first appearance, which is going to be on Tuesday, April 1st at night. So that means Sunday night. You have to make sure that you're clean and you take a shower and you wash your clothes and you don't sleep with your wife after Sunday night. Sunday night, when the sun goes down, that's day one. Monday night, sun goes down, that's day two. Tuesday night, going into Tuesday night, that's 2 days you already clean. That's being ready against the third day. That's how you do that. So whatever day you have to appear, that has to be starting the third day of your cleanness. So Pentecost would be Saturday night. So that means Thursday night, you have to make sure before sun goes down on Thursday that you wash yourself, make sure that you don't sleep with your wife and all that stuff after Thursday night. So Thursday night would be day one. Friday night would be day two. Going into Saturday would be ready against the third day. That means going into the third day, you're clean. That's how you have to separate yourself. And then the last one, Feast of Tabernacles. Tuesday night, same thing. Sunday night, before Sunday, during the day, you make sure you wash your feet and take a shower and cleanse yourself, clean your clothes, all that, and stay away from your wife. Starting Sunday night, you cannot sleep with your wife. So Sunday night is day one. Monday night is day two. You're going into Tuesday night. You're ready against the third day. You're clean. So that is how you present yourself. And that's not only just not sleeping with your wife. You want to stay away from sin. You're cleansing yourself. You're keeping yourself clean. So that is the holy days of Yahweh. This is how you calculate that. Again, as we get closer to the holy days, we'll go more into the significance of how, what these holy days mean, how we're to celebrate these holy days, how we set them apart, and how we know for sure that we're calculating it properly. So that's all we're going to do today. Again, I know we zipped through this kind of fast, but that's all right. That's why it's recorded. You can go back, rewind, get a calendar. I suggest that you get a yearly calendar and a pen, print it out so that you can make little stick marks and count it out so that you can keep your days. Because the first time you do it is be a little confusing. And if you're off one day, you messed up everything. That's why they add all these days to keep you in constant confusion. They add 365 so that you can be off a day. 366 every 4 years. So if you're trying to calculate for them being off one day, every 4 years, they're screwing you up again, adding 366, which is pushing you 2 days behind. So it's just confusion. And that's why they also did the new moon, which is 354 days. You're off a whole 10 days. They come to a point where they got to add a whole month. They so far off. So that's all we're going to do today. If anybody has any questions, or you're doing it and you're getting stuck and you need some help with it, by all means, you can reach out to us. We'll answer any questions that you have. We've been doing this for quite a bit, so we're pretty good with this. Most assemblies, most congregations will not teach you this. They will not show you this. All they will do is just give you a calendar. And the reason for this is they don't want you asking questions. They don't want to say, well, how did you come up with that date? How did you get here? How do we know that's correct? They're just following tradition, or they're following maybe one person who say he know how to do it. But what we do is we teach you. That way, if we make a mistake, you can correct us. If we miss something, you can say, wait a minute, that's not according to the scripts. And anybody that tries to show you can say, well, why are you doing it this way? Well, the script says that way. And then you can see what manner of spirit you're dealing with. Because if the person gets angry and calls you, you rebellious or whatever, yeah, they're dealing with witchcraft. That's why they're getting upset. So that's all we're going to do today. Again, we are Israelites Gathering. My name is YAH. If you have any questions, you can email us at info@israelitesgathering.com. You can check our website at israelitesgathering.com. And you can download our app for Android or Apple on the app stores. So Yah's we'll see you for Shabbat. Until then, Yah be with you and your families. Shalom.
All right. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for coming together for this lesson. And I want to thank Boaz, Yasharella, for the 2 joules. Thank you again for the 10 joules, and thank you again for the 2 joules. And I deeply appreciate your support for my channel. Thank you so much. So, y'all, I pray the Most High will keep each and every one of you safe. We know the chief angel, Michael, is the one that watches over all 12 tribes. And I pray the Most High will watch over us in these final days and use the chief angel, Michael, to watch over us in all 4 corners of the earth, so no harm can come to us from any Gentile, no matter where you are on this earth. May he continue to bless you and your family each and every day. Shabbat Shalom, family.